There are so many growing futuristic industries around us, which so many people and engineers don't know about. I mean, listen to this. There's literally developing tech that would allow a car to drive itself across a city while it communicates with other cars to control traffic and prevent accidents in real time. Sounds crazy, right? And these types of futuristic industries seem so far away from us. But the fact is, they're way closer than you think. Today, I'm going to be sharing some of these industries that will be defining the next decade and further. And you're going to want to listen till the end if you want to get ahead and not miss the opportunities that these industries will bring as they get bigger and bigger. And even though that these industries will make an impact to all of us, they will especially be making lots of opportunities for future engineers. First is everyone's favorite two letters right now, AI. But wait, because it's actually way more than just the AI industry itself that will be benefiting from this next technological revolution that we're going through, like the AI revolution. I was checking out this Bloomberg article, which predicts that we'll see generative AI become a $1.3 trillion market by 2032. For reference, the market size for generative AI just back in like 2022 was 40 billion. We're going from billions to trillions, guys. And just recently, we can see investments in this technology popping up out of nowhere. Like, you know, Kevin O'Leary, like that guy from Shark Tank, you know, Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful.
He wants to support the construction of a huge data center in Alberta, which is estimated to end up costing around 70 billion. Guys, I don't know if you know, but that's a lot of money. But the thing is, other engineers in other sectors and other industries will be facing bigger problems because of this growing AI trend. I mean, take water, for instance, right? Water is one huge aspect of AI since it's used to cool these data centers, and not to mention the immense energy that AI demands itself. Apparently, GPT-4, you know, ChatGPT-4 took 50 times more energy to train and operate than GPT-3. What? And that's according to a Forbes article, by the way. But with newer and bigger problems, you know, like these huge problems that are coming up because of this growing tech, there's going to be a really big need for engineers to come up with bigger, greater solutions for these sectors like water and energy. And you're going to see a trend throughout this entire video. And that is that with all of this new tech and new industries that are coming up, there will be way bigger and never before seen problems that we'll be facing. And that's the specialization of engineers, to face these problems and use whatever knowledge that we know, like scientific knowledge and stuff like that, to be going right directly at these problems. So as I give you way more of these industries, I want you to keep in mind, how can you create a solution in these industries? That's where you're gonna find your value as an engineer. Another area of interest for many engineers that care about the future and technology is robotics. And this incredibly wide industry has so much to it. Basically, just take whatever you know about robotics right now, just take that and then just multiply it by 10 or like 100. That's how crazy this industry actually is. And the thing is, we can already see this stuff happening. I recently went to a robotics conference at the University of Alberta, and I got to see some of the crazy work that was just happening around us. Just behind the background, kind of like behind the scenes. And the key theme, the key takeaway that I got from this robotics conference that people should know was that robotics is coming for basically every aspect of our lives that requires some form of physical movement. And that spanned from like stuff like welding with robotic arms to helping those unable to walk actually walk again. The list goes on and on. There was even robots that was helping out in warehouses. That's how crazy this stuff is getting. It's actually astonishing how little people know about this technology. And even as a 5th year mechanical engineering myself, I have gone through this entire degree and I hadn't even learned 1% of what I had seen at that conference. That's how little exposure this stuff is getting. And this is the reason why I wanted to share this so much. By the way, there's way more crazier things that I learned at that conference as well. And I'm gonna be sharing that later in the video, so stick around. But now let's talk about an industry that feels so incredibly underrated and has done so much for us already and is gonna do way more. And it's with additive manufacturing. And if you don't know already, what additive manufacturing is, it's basically just like making stuff, manufacturing layer by layer. So, you know, stuff like 3D printers, you've probably seen them before. That kind of stuff is additive manufacturing. Get it? Additive, like you're adding stuff. Additive manufacturing. But imagine a world, right, that you could 3D print an entire house. Like your house is 3D printed. Or you could have your own 3D printed, customized meal. Houses and food. That's the range that this kind of stuff has. Like imagine a world where I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna go cook dinner. I'm gonna bake some cookies. You'll be like to your buddies, is the food finished printing yet? Hell no. The thing is, additive manufacturing can be integrated into basically any industry. Just search up an industry and then add additive manufacturing to it and something probably will come up. Like maybe you like aerospace, so just type in aerospace, additive manufacturing, and you'll find an industry that might be suited just for you. Something that you might be interested in taking on. So we went from meal prepping with 3D printing to now imagining a world where no one needs a driver's license anymore. Or how about the world that I mentioned earlier where cars communicate with each other to prevent accidents and keep track of traffic in real time. Imagine a world where traffic was no longer a thing. Well, that just might be the world that we're heading towards with autonomous vehicles, aka self-driving cars. And wait, another aspect of autonomous vehicles is something that not many people are talking about, and it's something called a smart city. This is like the next step beyond autonomous vehicles. It's more like an autonomous city. So another part of that robotics conference that I went to, I got to check out the Active Aurora Research Initiative, and their goal is basically to implement this smart technology, this smart city technology on our roads. So imagine your car is basically talking to like the traffic lights and all the other infrastructure, the road signs, as well as other cars around it to make traffic less, to get rid of traffic, to manage it more, and make traffic a thing of the past. Imagine one day you're like, oh, before we had to drive our own cars and we had this thing called traffic where all of us would be stuck in a road and we wouldn't be able to move. But the thing is, with this kind of tech, the level of sensors and everything else that has to go into making this kind of city is actually crazy. Engineers are going to be needed at every single step of the way to make this reality. Now let's enter a totally different kind of world than what we're used to. Something that's way cooler. Remember the company behind Facebook, named Facebook? And now they've changed their name to what? What did they change their name to? Meta. Well, with companies like Meta going all into this metaverse and AR, like augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality, this whole tech reality industry is gonna be insane for engineers. And this kind of tech is something that I'm partially excited about, but on the other hand, I'm actually pretty scared about, and it's for a few reasons. First off, this industry is already proving itself to be way more than just a headset that gamers be putting on just to talk to their friends and stuff like that, to like play whatever. Like, this tech is proving itself to be way more than just for gamers. I mean, you may have seen that Marcus Brownlee video or any of those other tech YouTubers, tech creators that were invited by Meta to try out the Meta AR glasses, which look so cool. And I'm incredibly excited to see in future that has these glasses just lying around and you get to use them on a daily basis. That's gonna be really cool. Like having a future where you don't look at your phone, like look down at your phone to see a screen, to access some apps and stuff like that. But instead, you have to just look through some lenses, like look through some glasses, and then you'll be able to access apps that way. That kind of future, that kind of reality is really cool. But where it gets scary is just imagining a world where when you want to meet up with your friends or just hang out with your friends, you just do it by putting on some glasses or just putting on some like headset or something. That's where it gets kind of scary. Or even like a world where someone can just walk through a simulated park with like their simulated dog. That's kind of weird. And the reason why I bring this kind of stuff up, like this kind of thinking of being kind of scared or whatever, is because when you become an engineer and you want to go through a futuristic industry, you engineer a totally different way of life. Like this industry, the metaverse industry, will probably be huge in the future, right? And there should be plenty of opportunities for engineers in the future. But a question that you could ask yourself when you're going for any industry or any company, when you want to join some team or whatever, is to just ask yourself really quickly, is this company working towards a future that I support and that I want to be a part of? It's just a little thing for you to think about. So those are some of the industries to look out for right now and for in the near future. But perhaps you yourself are still in engineering school, still struggling through all of those exams and assignments, and you want to be part of a big company, but you need to get a boost in your grades. You need that higher GPA to get you through that degree. Well, if this is you, check out this video right here. That's how to get a 4.0 GPA, how to become an A student in engineering. That should help you out a lot. Anyways, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe for way more engineering related content. Peace, guys.